We're driving for the first time in this car.
Hey, it's Freeman. Previously, with our 1962 AMC Rambler Classic Deluxe project car, we got the 196 cubic inch straight six, slammed back into this car, made it back up to our Borg Warner Flash-O-Matic push-button transmission after replacing the front pump seal of the transmission. And now it's time to fire this beast up, find out if the seal seals or if it's gonna puke its guts out all over the garage floor again, therefore making this all waste of time. It was midnight when you went home to feed the dog, and I went inside for a bio break and possibly some light snacking. But I'm back out in the garage. It is about 1 a.m. Let's do this.
All right, it's a proper 0-100 hours. And don't freak out because the overhead door is closed. The goal is still to drive the car. There's actually an extra hurdle I'll tell you about when we get to it in a little bit here. But yeah, we need to bend that plate back in place. So I'm going to start smashing that with a hammer. And then the starter, zip tied up in place down in there, can go on. All the wires are connected. Generator, that's in place. Not going to snug it yet though, until the belt's on. The belt, fan, radiator's got to go in. That's easy. We're gonna have to pull a bit of water in it since we lost some on the floor. Okay, the lower radiator hose, not a big deal. So nothing too major left, and then we can fire this thing up and see if our transmission leaks or not. Which that's why we took the engine out, right? Oh, didn't we break a couple exhaust flange studs? Huh. Well, guess we might have an exhaust leak. We'll find out. Oh wait, no, we didn't. Oh, we only broke one. Okay. So one's broken, one we got to put back in place, thread back in. Okay, yeah, all right, I got it. And the spring that we found in the previous video, that might be the one that we've been looking for forever. We'll get to installing that too. I am a little concerned that I'm only seeing one bolt for the starter. There should be two. Oh, here's a random nut. Oh, this curb. That was close. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna knock some of the mouse poop out of the way here. Okay, just cut the zip tie and the starter onto the fault of the floor and rip all the wires off of it, which is what I was prepared for. Golly, this is a big heavy starter. Oh, I see we left the other bolt on it. Jeez. Holy cow, I gotta get in the car to put this starter back in place. Gotta cradle it from the bottom like a newborn baby. This may look comfortable, but it's not. I'm actually holding myself up. My quads are burning. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stand on the floor. Ow, maybe not. Maybe, okay. Okay. Uh-oh. I might be stuck. Geez, I hope I don't get emergency diarrhea. Wait. It's the wrench I need within wingspan distance. Yes. It never gets old. Except for that's the wrong size. Nothing like an oil filter right in the stomach. Nothing like laying on top of an oil filter. I think I'm just going to start standing inside engine bays from now on. Because this is a lot easier. Okay, could I possibly put a 5/8 socket on here? Guy needs a full set of ratchet wrenches. That would be really nice. It's on the list. Oh no! This whole time we've had a 3/8 drive ratchet here. Just a couple minutes ago I moved it over there when I was getting stuff out of the way. Well, I'm just gonna pretend that it never would have fit in here anyways. So I'm turning a little bit, flipping the wrench, turning a little bit, flipping the wrench, turning a little bit, flipping the wrench. Okay, so it just took a solid about 10 minutes, I'd say, to get this one. Oh geez, I better be careful. If that wrench slipped, this could have went right through my throat. So about 10 minutes to get one of two starter bolts in because of, which is fine, right? Not a complaint. This whole video has been complaints. So the second bolt is actually, we need a nut to go on the back side, and voice crack, and a washer. That kind of scares me because, do you remember from the previous video what we did with that nut? Oh, okay, well there's a nut right over yonder. Let's see if I can get it without knocking it on the floor. Oh, and in the previous video, I had to lay on the floor with about 3 feet of extensions to get the bottom bell housing bolted on this side. It's got a nut on the back side. Did it all from the top this time. Don't ask me how. In the future, we're gonna pull all this out, the whole drivetrain out of this car, clean everything and make it look like factory. Paint the engine, probably paint the car too. Oh, wait a second. Hold on, hold the rotary telephone. We got this cable down here that attaches from the transmission to the throttle linkage, and you could just think of it as a kickdown cable, TV cable, whatever you like. It's regulating pressure in the transmission as the throttle opens and closes. The bracket on it that holds it in place down on the transmission end, one of the starter bolts goes through it. But was it on the front or the back? Well, let's see which side. Let's look at the wetness marks in the grease. Okay, well there's definitely a nut on one side, so it goes on the back side. Gotta take this nut off. It's funny how I was thinking, boy, getting a wrench on this nut actually isn't going to be that difficult, but now with the little bracket on it, it will be. Oh, no, I'm making more work for ourselves. I just pulled this throttle linkage that connects to the gas pedal inside the car out of place and pulled it through the firewall. Gosh darn it. And it was curiosity because I was trying to get it into place to hook it up, and I thought, oh, it's spinning and it's just spun 3 times all the way around. What happens if I keep doing that? And when it popped up. Well, while I'm in here, I'm going to do everything that I can get done while standing right here as fast as I can. So, for example, yeah, here, let's do this right now. Spark plug wire. Oh, actually, hold on. It'd be easier to put the coil bracket bolt in first. We're almost done, but we lost a bolt and washer for our radiator, and I've been looking for it for a long time. Really big delay, and I actually just found it camouflaged. I was crawling around underneath the car and everything. Isn't that funny how that happens like that? So this jug is sitting around Freeman's garage, and it says 50/50 on it. Do you think that's what's in here? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Won't we? What time is it? I'd use my sundial, but there's no sun. Oh yeah, that's 50/50. Guaranteed. You don't hear it hitting the ground, do you? Oh yeah, she's thirsty. Thirsty, thirsty. Thirsty Thursday? Holy cow, she wants to take the whole gallon. This gal wanted a We'll leave the cap off for initial startup, because if the thermostat opens while we're dinking around before scooting out the door, we'll add a little bit more. All right, man, we're pretty much ready. Oh, and I'm a little crisscross with you. The dipstick tube for the trans, the bracket, the bolt hole, you didn't remind me that it's the same bolt for that as the ignition coil bracket. I had to redo everything, man. Oh, transmission fluid. We should put some transmission fluid in the transmission. It's getting late. Well, let's get a bunch of this stuff off the car that's going to fall off when it starts, although it runs smooth. So there's not a whole lot of vibration, although the vibrations that there are good. Get it? And I'm not actually going to clean, you know, and put this stuff away. I'm just going to pile it onto another car. And what are these little, okay, there's a couple things going on here. What are these teeny tiny little screws for? There's two sitting on each side of the car. Oh, that's right. Yes. If you haven't seen the previous video with this car, watch it next and you'll know what these little screws are from. Okay, and the other thing, oh, I got all the wiring all hooked back up and everything. It's not all, you know, show ready or anything, but it's good for what we're doing now because we're out of time. Yeah, so the other thing is that I was just hearing police sirens around the area, maybe some tire screeching, not quite sure. So it's possible we are inside a perimeter. So when I gotta open the overhead door here to get a battery of another vehicle. Oh, actually I'll try this battery here, the winch battery, but still need to open the overhead door, at least somewhat, to let the exhaust out. We want to make sure we get rid of that. But yeah, we might be inside a perimeter, so get ready, you might see some self-defense. But first, let's take this spring that we found in the previous video that was hidden down in here since probably 1975 and see if it is our correct, possibly factory, throttle return spring. If it is, that's going to be nice because, well, there's not really a, well, there's ways, but there's not really a safe way to operate this on public roadways without this. If you're gonna drive the car from inside the car, that is. Little Deuce Coupe. Oh yeah, we gotta, that hose, we gotta replace that hose, or else we're just gonna have a massive vacuum leak. Little Deuce Coupe, you know. Okay, so I think this hole, two. Oh yeah, I hooked up our cable as well. So that hole to this, well, hold on. First off, oh yeah, remember our homemade piece here? It's pretty sweet to, okay, so right now, If we push the gas pedal down inside the car, we're not returning. We're wide open unless we reach down and pull the pedal back. And now for the spring. Oh, this feels like a good weight. Okay, ready? So we press the gas pedal in the car. Oh yeah, all the way down to the floor. Oh, yes. Oh, that's awesome. A little deuce coupe. Wait a second, how much transmission fluid did we lose in that previous video on the floor? Because I don't want to overfill this. By the way, there's always a chance that the vent on top of the transmission is plugged. Oh, there's a lot on the stick. Of course, you want to be warmed up and you want to cycle through the gear selections to prime the hydraulic pump and be idling and warm. Well, there's a procedure for checking if you're not warm. But the fact that there is, I mean, it's up to here. We're not gonna crack this brand new gallon here yet. Even though, I don't know how in the world we could be, or how we could overfill it if we put just a smidge in, but no, I don't think that's smart right now. A little deuce coupe. Okay, well, is this battery gonna fit in this battery tray? Battery. That's a Metallica song. Battery. This is my trolling motor battery. / garage floor winch battery. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, ratchet strap will hold that in too on the road. And speaking of the road, if there is, oh, yeah, if there's activity out there, we're gonna go out in this, in our time machine. Hey, I ain't got nothing to say to Johnny Law, but boy, would that be stupid, right? Would that be ridiculous? And we might not have any lights, which could actually aid us, right? But, you know, that would look even worse. Nobody understands me. My little deuce coupe. Let's hook that battery up and then let's flip the headlights on and let's see what happens. I mean, we do got good looking wiring running up to the front corners. If we don't have lights, that ground could have something to do with it. You know, when it comes to electrical, grounds. Even if you don't think it has anything to do with it, just if there's a ground, fix it, clean it. But yeah, I think other than some of the obvious things, or like lights, headlights, that kind of stuff, I think we're ready to fire it up and find out if the transmission is gonna leak like a sieve. And can you think of anything else that needs to be done? Yeah, I can't think of anything. All right, headlight switch. My little deuce coupe. Let's check the dome light first. Nothing. Okay, that's not a good sign. Could just be the bulb. Mosquito on my ear. Oh, and I think did I just get a little shock when I touched that? All right, let's check the dash. No, nothing. And we could right here with the switch halfway out, we could check the marker lights. No, just kidding, fooled ya. This is 1962. There's no such thing as lights that provide extra safety while operating at night. Oh, we do got a light on. Let's pull the switch out all the way. See if we got lights. Suspense. Gotta build suspense. Taillights first. Nope. We do not. Okay. Headlights. We do not. Nothing. Oh! The little trick worked. Now I'm sure when we hit the first bump they'll go out. But then when you hit the second bump they'll go back on. Nice, that's awesome. I call that progress. Let's check the taillights now. Oh man, I failed to quickly find a piece of hose or anything to just plug it with real quick, so, or that, you know, is kind of proper. So I'm just going to run a piece of electrical tape around it, which will just immediately melt, but it's better than nothing because it's just a big vacuum leak. It's actually for our vacuum operated windshield wipers, which is part of the dual action fuel pump. Little deuce coupe. And it's probably 2 o'clock in the morning, so you know, it's one of those. All right, so all we need is gasolina, and all the gas cans are in the shed. So now I'm gonna be walking around with a flashlight in the middle of the night. I gotta be up at 5, by the way. It's just funny because, of course, I don't care, they don't care, you don't care, no one cares, right? But it's just funny to think what people think if they were to look out their, if they were, you know, maybe they got up in the middle of the night for some light snacking, or, you know, and they look, or bathroom, and they look out. Let's do this. I gotta stop talking. After we're done running the car, or at least our test here, I want to drive it. Kind of figuring that out in the whole head right now. But we'll see what time it is after we do a little leak test here. Oh my gosh, is there enough gas in here? It might not be. Maybe enough to make it to a service station. Well, okay, let's see what happens. All right, Sears remote starter switch, which is as old as the car. Go to the green wire. And then let's test that out, actually. This battery's dead. I gotta get a different battery. Yeah, I don't know. I am a law-abiding citizen, all right? And what am I trying to say? Well, I'll just say this. As harmless as this is, you know, a guy doesn't need to preach to another guy, but there is a point where you just be a grown-up, right? You know, because nobody understands this. Nobody knows what's going on with this. You know, just the random person that you're going to encounter. When I went outside to get that battery, I'm not joking. I opened the overhead door. I stepped 5 feet out there, popped the hood on the 67 C10, and started taking the battery out. I was out there for 8 seconds, and I looked down the street, and just in the glow of the street light, I saw Johnny Law just go shooting through the intersection, moving. No lights, no siren, nothing, but there's probably some dirtbag, some grease ball roaming around out here, hiding in some of these bushes, and they're looking for him. That would be my guess. And do we really need to go out there in this right now and drive around in the middle of it and it quits running, or it starts, or pukes all the transmission fluid out? I don't know, maybe we'll still drive it here. We'll see. Okay, test time. Maybe it wasn't the battery. Oh, spring just flew out. This has happened before on Freeman's garage. Boy, we are just full of just roadblocks. I mean, everything is taking, that you would think would take 10 minutes is taking a half an hour. It might be this ground, which is hanging on by a couple threads. Need a better connection. I gotta clean up these connections, make them a little bit better. And, well, here's the thing. I'm gonna go peek inside. If it's after 3 a.m., if it's 3 a.m., we stay here. And we finish this, okay? We get this thing running and see if it leaks. But I gotta be up at 5. So if it's after 3, if it's 3:01 a.m., then we're gonna shut it down. And then I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'm gonna get up at 5 to start my day, and I'll take a nap. Take a nap at 6, I don't know. But all right, I'll be right back. It's 5:15. I was supposed to be up 15 minutes ago. Oh, negative sleep. Yeah, I'm definitely taking a nap today. I'll see you tomorrow. Jeez. All right, it is the next day and I worked out the little bugs and we've got good connection. Is there anything cool? I think there's just one cool thing to tell you before we do this. Due to contracting and expanding from temperature differences throughout the night, our gas can slipped down in here and, oh, well now it wants to come right out. Must have been because I took the cap off. Okay, well I guess that's science. So it shrunk and fell down as temperatures cooled throughout the night, and then it expanded as temperatures rise throughout the day, wedging it in here, locking it in the perfect position so that it won't fall out while operating the vehicle. But that's not the case anymore. But it still is sitting at the perfect angle, and we have just enough gas, maybe, to run this for a few seconds for a test. Yeah, that probably wasn't even worth taking the time to tell you that. Anything else? Oh, we are blocked and chocked, front and rear, and we are hooked up to the winch cable with a little bit of play in it to allow us to test driving the car forwards and backwards a foot or so in here. But if things go buck wild, it'll hopefully prevent us from going through that door and through those vehicles and or through that wall into the kitchen. Okay, here we go, and I'm pretty sure it's in neutral. Let's get our juice to our ignition. Okay, so the first thing is just to find out if this leaks or not. There we go, I didn't think I sprayed any in there earlier, or the first time. Okay. Maybe we need to put some real fuel in there. Oh, not good. That's new. Electrical fire. We're about to be. Is it the orange wire? Ooh. Oh, wait a second. This red power wire here, she's hot. Must have popped out from back there. Telling you, I can't wait to get moved to the new Freeman's garage location. This portion, we could just be doing this outside right now, and that would solve some issues or concerns. Let me know if it starts smoking. Trying to get the engine to fire off with some starting fluid, and then The fuel pump will take over from there out of that gas can. Oh, wow, looks like we were pumping fuel. Or starting to. There was a little bit in the line that would not be there if the fuel pump wasn't doing anything. Let me know if you see smoke. Oh yeah. Purrs like a Persian kitten, whatever that means. Nice. Okay, let's see if it leaks. I don't like that sound. We're going to shut it off in about a half a second. There's nothing on the ground. All right, let's kill it. Oh, actually, it was it pushing fluid out of the dipstick tube? Almost like the vents clogged? We've never had that happen before. Yeah, she was pushing it up. Wonder why that was. It's definitely not overfilled or anything. Okay, so this is interesting. I think that we should unplug this for right now. Here's what I'm thinking at the moment. I think that it's a success. We replaced the front seal and that leak is gone. That worked. But now that we have fluid pushing its way up out the dipstick tube, that makes me think there's got to be a pressure issue inside the transmission. Yes, the front pump seal did need to be replaced. It was broken and blown out, crusty and cracked and rock hard. It's been in here since Nixon was in office. I think there's a pressure issue. Probably the vent is clogged. If the seal was good to begin with, it would have been pushing it out of the dipstick tube. It's going to push it out of somewhere. And it was pushing it out the easiest spot possible, which was the blown out front seal. And now that that's fixed, I'm sure it's trying to push fluid past it, but it can't get through now, so now it's coming out the dipstick tube. So, I think the thing to do is to finally find the vent on the top of this transmission. After all the time I've spent underneath this car, I still haven't seen it. Partially because it's covered in, caked in old transmission fluid. So I think that's the thing to do before going any further, is to get under here, throw a light and an arm up on top of the transmission and fish around for the vent. It might just be clogged on the end, I don't know. But I think if we can clear that, I think we'll be good. All right, so it took just a couple quick minutes to find it. We're actually on the passenger side right now. It's not over here, but just want to show you. I was scraping away. Nice and clean. Can't wait to actually clean this transmission for real, huh? I was thinking it might be over here. It's over here on the driver's side. Scooch in here. Oh, there's a mosquito right in my eye. Right up here. That little button, little doohickey. There, you can see how that moves a little bit. That's the cap on the vent. And it's bone dry up here. See, I bet it's just, must be plugged underneath this cap. It's just building pressure, and then all the fluid just pushes out from wherever it can. I'm gonna clean this up real good, and then we're gonna see if we can unclog it. All right, so I cleaned up the area and I popped off this metal cap. There's the vent without the cap on. We're gonna clean that out with a piece of old rusty baling wire. Let's just hope that it's not clogged internally, somewhere where we can't do anything about it. Okay, let's get out of here. The cap for the vent is not on, just so you know. Something's still goofy with the choke from the previous video. It's just a WD-40 burning off from soaking the nuts on the exhaust flange. I'm going to fire it back up and play with the choke a little bit while it's running. I got the screws loose. I just want to see if I can get the idle down. The idle screw is backed out all the way. And it's idling too high right now to put it in gear when I'm not completely confident in how much brake pressure that we have, even after we rebuilt the entire brake system. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's good right there. I'm gonna put it in drive. Just double checking the play we have here. I'm going to open the door all the way too. Alright, let's see what happens. Boy, I hope we don't have some kind of crazy accident here. Okay, yeah, I don't like that brake pressure. It's actually kind of scaring me. You know what, actually? Hold on, let's do this real quick. Before the choke setting vibrates out of place, let me lock that in. Yeah, there's just not a lot in the pedal, which is just, you know, a little scary. Got plenty of fluid in that pot. Yep. Plenty of fluid back here. You see, part of the thing is if I put it in gear and it starts rolling away and I can't stop it, and I push neutral, you know, I might not do anything. Okay, if I need to, I'll pull on that. Getting a little bit of brake pressure here by pumping. Okay, I'm going to put it in D1. Did it go into D1? No, let my foot off the brake pedal. Nothing happened. Back in neutral. Go back to D1. Okay, we'll go to neutral. D2. Go back to neutral. Let's go to D1 again. Huh. We're not getting anything. Okay, now the parking brake is off, and we are out of the park position. Let's try reverse. Nothing. And cycling through each gear selection does not seem to be priming anything. I think we're low on fluid. If there's one thing I'm not a stranger to, it's operating an automobile on a public roadway with little or no brakes. It's just in the garage where it gets a little sketchy for me. Alright, last thing we want to do is overfill. We want enough to be able to prime the hydraulic system by selecting each gear selection for about 15 seconds or so each. And then check the fluid level, add, do it again, check the fluid level, add. But really right now, what I'm really trying to do is just get something to happen here, because I want to drive the car. I at least want to see it move under its own power in the garage here. It is dark again. We started here tonight real late. But yeah, let's try it again. What in Uncle Ben's rice is going on? Oh, I bet we're out of fuel. Yeah, it's just like it's 3 strikes against me all of the time. Okay, pumping the brake pedal. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with this brake system in this car. I think maybe something with the master cylinder rebuild didn't go well. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm gonna let my foot off the brake. We're driving. We're driving for the first time in this car. All right, let's go to neutral. Let's go to reverse. Woo! And the brake's working a bit. Nice. We are attached to the winch. Can't forget about that. Okay, now we're in neutral. Well, we're supposed to be. Okay, yeah, we're in neutral. Okay, now let's do drive 1. Okay, and then we're gonna go to drive 2. And then we're gonna go to drive, well, let's still there, foot off the brake, nice. Let's go to, okay. Okay, so it's not quite ready for the road. We are right there though. I mean, we're that close. If it wasn't dark, I would move the trucks behind this car and we would go drive it right now. Yeah, we just need daylight and then we'll drive it.
All right, I got to jump in here because we need a little bit more than daylight. Now, we did get a lot of pesky little knuckle busters knocked out of the way here, so that's progress. And let's give ourselves an old pat ski on the old back ski for having a transmission that does not puke its guts out all over the garage floor anymore. But upon further review, maybe I accidentally pulled on our safety device, or vibrations combined with the weight of our safety device pulled the ignition power wire out of the battery terminal. I think next you'd probably like to watch one of these videos.